Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy T Devils Blazing the Sports. Back at it like a crack addict, giving you boxing geekers and MMA geekers this work. Guys, it's going to be a quick video. I'm taking a moment from my desk, still in awe of watching Claressa Shields do her thing, not in boxing, but in MMA. Guys, this was one that I haven't been felt a little nervous for a fight in a while. Whenever you have a favorite fighter and your favorite fighter is fighting somebody there really stands a chance of possibly upsetting your opponent. Sometimes you get a little bit, definitely emotionally involved. And this is one of those fights that when I found out about Claressa was pinned against a 12-year veteran, and Claressa has about 7 total months of MMA training to learn, to remember, to master, and to do it in a real setting in 7 months, right? Against a 12-year veteran. I don't care if they say her record is 7-3. It doesn't matter. She's been doing it for 12 years against people who've been probably doing it equally or longer than her in a Pacific sport. Guys, Claressa Shields came out round 1. This is what we were going to see. What would happen? It started on their feet. I can tell instantly that Elkin was trying to keep the distance, not with punches, but with her leg, by starting out feigning and showing front kicks and just letting Claressa know that whatever distance that you are used to and being able to judge in boxing is going to be completely different here, guys. And what was expected to happen, what did I expect to happen, and I said it many times, is that not long in the first round, Brittney is going to go for a takedown. And she did it, and she got it, right? And then that's where T-Dub was completely glued to the screen. And even if I blinked, it felt like I didn't blink at all. Claressa was on her back. She was pinned against the cage. Brittney trying to work her over, position her legs, straighten them out, damn near trying to fold them. But Claressa kept fighting. And the key things about this that gave me hope that this was not a James Toney all over again, but with Claressa, is how calm she stayed, how poised she stayed, how even when she was on her back, something she has never been on in the sport of boxing, she was defending well. She was still trying to strike at times from the bottom. I mean, I was impressed. I'm counting the time down. I'm calling this fight live on my channel, trying to give every movement that's happening. And like I said, the first round, on her back, and she survived. But listen, we already knew in the second round. To me, T-Rex came out, and I was a little bit more happier because I saw the movement in her legs, right? That's what I'm talking about, right? You just can't stay in one spot and allow the person to shoot in on you, especially when they want you to come towards them so they can really have close distance trying to get you to the ground. But guys, even with that, even with Claressa able to land some strikes, showing off her speed, guys, Claressa, out of everyone fought tonight, Claressa had the third fastest punches out of anyone, not women, not men, everyone that fought that night. Claressa was amongst the top 3 of having speed, guys. But again, Claressa's down on her back again. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, just get a little bit more standing time, right? Thinking to myself. And again, she's showing, as crazy as it sounds, with only 7 months of doing this, she's showing to me the experience of being able to handle the big lights, being able to handle diversity when her back is literally pinned against the mat and somebody trying to do things to her that they only practice that was going to happen to her in training, but this is really happening in her first fight against an experienced fighter who came in tippity top, you don't stop type of conditioning, well, physically, Brittney looked in phenomenal shape. And again, she was down. But guys, there was a glimpse of hope. In the end of the second round, uh, Claressa was able to break it and then get a little side mount and then get some punches in, right? And I was thinking, only was a little bit more time, a little bit more time. But guys, the third round, the money round, the one you could take to the bank and cash this check because it is good. Claressa Shields came out like a woman on a mission. And the one thing I like about her, the one thing that's honestly that is rare, not even rare. Well, I guess you can say you don't see this level of it too often, guys. When I'm talking about men and women, I'm talking about men and women. Her determination, her desire not to quit, her desire not to give up, to continue to win no matter what. Her recognizing that in this sport she can possibly lose, but yet having an attitude in a fight that she's not going to lose. Guys, listen to that again from the post-fight interview. You can, when they ask about is this better than boxing, obviously they want to compare it to boxing. For her realizing in boxing, she never thought she could lose, but in MMA, she thought she could lose. She could actually lose her first fight, but in the actual fight, she felt like a person that was not going to lose. Came out the third round. Claressa was on a mission, landing a big overhand right bow, makes Brittney Elkin backs up, and you can tell every time that Claressa did land a big shot, it was money. And then what did Brittney do? Brittney went to what Brittney knows best. She went in for the takedown, but she wasn't as fast with it. She wasn't as swift with it, and she wasn't as successful with the takedown. And I gotta say this, man. Claressa done some good things. Of course, she looks green. Of course, she looks like she needs to definitely polish up a lot. Basically, listen, you got to spend time. And I tell my son, like, the way you get good at something is practice, 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 practice. And I'm talking about same practice that Allen Iverson was saying, practice. You got to practice. But man, the way she was, like, what is it called? Defending the spar, whatever it is, or spar, I don't know, man. I'm not an MMA, but the way she was doing it, getting her feet back, getting her hips down, I was impressed. I was smiling like I am smiling right now. I'm so tremendously proud of her. And then when she got that side mount and Brittney Elkin was going from her knees to back to her side, to her knees and back to her side, and you could tell at that point that she may have had a few ideas on what to do, but Claressa Shields didn't let none of them get off. The only thing that Claressa Shields let get off was that right hand. She treated that right hand like a broken record and put it on repeat. And you can tell, even when she was throwing those shots, the bit in her elbow, she was getting leverage on those shots, digging in the side of the head, digging in the jaw whenever Brittney Elkin would expose that jaw. Digging and digging and digging until a little over a minute, probably a minute and a half, close to 2 in the third round. Claressa Shields experienced something she has never experienced before. She has won her debut match in MMA. She is now, until her next fight, she is undefeated in 2 sports. So to you guys, I'm going to ask you, is she the GOAT? And that right there is up for you guys to personally decide on how she is for you. But for me, her mentality, her way of thinking, her drive, her will to keep going, her I would die before I stop, her breaking the arm bar, her stopping everything. She has the attitude that any GOAT would appreciate.